you. Oh, you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I've just lost sound as soon as I clicked on live. Hang on a second.
Hello?
Oh man, why does it do this to me?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. Yeah, everything's
I
working.
can see green. That indicates it's not you, it's me.
Are we live? I think we're live.
Hey, so good to see you guys. I can hear now.
Okay. So the guy who sent the red one, the profiles, he doesn't want anything.
Oh no, I can hear my YouTube thing, but for some reason I can't hear that. You can hear me just fine, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Man, this happened as soon as I set this live, so I'm sorry. Just everyone give me a second. Let me see if I can this. YouTube, why do you do this to me? So it's not my headphones.
It must be the gear. Check the gear up there.
Well, everyone can hear Victor, right? And I know it was recording before, so it's a problem with me. I think I can leave this and it won't. No, it'll stop. It'll kill the broadcast if I do that. Wait a minute. Sorry, just let me try my options. Can you try talking?
Hello?
Okay, well that works.
Can you guys hear me? Can everyone hear me?
So that's working. So I can hear you then. Let me just try to put it back to the normal one though, because. Hello?
Hello?
Ah. Okay, well screw it. I'm just going to go to the speakers.
Okay, we'll do it live!
So. Okay, so you there?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Apologize for the crap sound quality, but this is the only way it's working tonight. Good to see everyone. How's it going? How you doing, Victor?
Good, I'm doing good. Let me just take a picture of you. There we go. Okay.
Yes.
Everything's fine.
Did you
All
get
right.
my good side?
What I do?
Good side. Oh man, I want to show you. I did a review of it last week.
Ready?
On the camera?
The official beginning.
Boom. Check that out.
Check out the new t-shirt, man. Check out the new t-shirt.
Oh, that's that. That is Jason My Argonauts' t-shirt. That's awesome.
And it's very comfortable. It's very smooth, especially over the nipples. Very nice, comfortable.
That's awesome. So you bought all 60 of the shirts?
103 he sold.
He sold so many. Well, it's a great shirt. It's a great shirt.
But I'll tell you this: no Japanese people like it, except for this weird girl who works at the convenience store. She says, "Oh, that's a good shirt," but all the other Japanese said, "Nah." All the young kids who go to my school, they're like, "Nah, it's not cool."
It works for me. It doesn't for me. Have you seen this?
That's the new one, huh?
That's the new one. This is awesome. So yes.
Tell us about it. What is it? Is it digital or is it?
It's digital. So it's basically my GH3. You know, I've got this awesome DSLR thing which I use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is the same lens system, but it's on a really compact. It's like a compact camera body with a really good sensor in it, so I can use all my good lenses and stuff and carry this around more easily.
I've been thinking about getting what you have. That what's it called? The other one, a Luminex. What do you have?
Luminex. They're all micro four thirds, which is a lens format that Olympus uses and a few other makers use, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just bought a Sony, a cheap Sony, but it does a great job. They took really great pictures at the Osaka party last week.
Yeah. How was
when you're drinking? You don't want to feel. You just want to point and shoot. You're drinking, and everything's automatic. You don't have to think about anything.
You know, give me a second. I'm going to try this sound one more time because it was working until I clicked go live, and then it just stopped working. Just give me one sec. Okay, how's that? How's it? You got to talk for a minute to be able to see.
I can hear you fine. Everything's fine. I can hear you.
No. I need to hear you.
Oh, hello, Hiko. How are you today?
Ain't working.
When are you gonna get the actual teacher, man?
I give up. I don't know.
Improve your lifestyle. You'll be surrounded by young, vivacious women. Can you hear that? Yeah. What is that? What are you drinking?
Vodka or water, one of the two. I'm not sure.
Liar. This is my first tonight.
So how was how was it? Who showed up?
let's see. Chemist in Japan.
Yeah.
He was there. Kevin Busan.
Yeah.
He stopped running, so he's got a belly like me now.
Has he put on a belly like me?
Like me.
Okay, well, I've lost the belly. I'm like,
I like you.
I lost 15 kilos.
I know you look great. You're a beautiful body. Wonderful.
Man.
Busan, no, he's not that big, but he used to be a runner, so he used to be really, really thin, right?
So he stopped running, boom, his metabolism was too accelerated. He just looked at popcorn and he turned into a balloon.
Yeah, well, but he was good. It's good to see him. Ado came by.
Sorry?
Ado
in Osaka.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good man.
And let's see who else. Of course, Shane and Regan. Oh, abroad in Japan, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Good to see him. He's very tall. You wouldn't think he's so tall. He looks a little short and plump. I told him I thought he was short because he's so funny. I thought, short people, tall people.
Well, like Oompa Loompas, they're just supposed to be funny like that, aren't they?
Yeah, I said if you were short, he'd be funnier, but he was a good guy. He got drunk and he kept saying, "What are you doing with your channel?"
Key Ranger. I was so shocked when I met Key Ranger. I didn't guess he was short. But you kind of presume everyone on like TV screens are short. Like everyone in the movies are short, and all these TV personalities are short. He's like 2 meters. He's like 6
I never thought he was that tall. He is huge. That is true. He is a bit tall. That's true. But anyway, a lot of fun. A lot of young ladies showed up. That you know what? What was her name? Her name is Sequoia or something.
Sequoia.
She has a lot of shit in her face. She's cool though. She's 19 years old and she has like piercings all over her face and body modification stuff. She's really cool.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun. This one gorgeous girl showed up. Was extremely taken by me, Tomoko, and Scott. And as soon as she saw us, she started crying. She was so starstruck, which is ridiculous for me. We're like, come on, you're making us uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Well, that happened to you and me in Tokyo. Remember when that girl? I think her name is Sandra. Was that her?
Yeah.
Now she's getting big and big. She's great. I like her. You guys go check her out. But the first time she met us, she started crying.
That's right. It happens. I certainly do remember the first time I started meeting YouTube people, and then I think it happens to everybody at first because you kind of think.
First time we met.
Sorry.
Did you cry the first time we met?
I cried the first time I met you, of course. I still remember the first time I met Chris Genn, and I wasn't sure if it was real or not, but
Chris who? Chris Genn?
Chris Genn. When he came to the first YouTube gathering I ever went to. He came to the dinner. Oh my God!
He was crazy. You're the best. What you do is so wonderful.
He was literally hyperventilating. It was kind of interesting. But I remember what that's like. It's like a reality inversion.
Have you ever felt that way about anyone on YouTube? I mean, that way, like you're really excited to meet them.
The first time we Skyped, actually, I think I told you I was cool, but I just needed like a minute because I couldn't get over it. It was like talking. For me, the first time when it was Skyping, it wasn't meeting in person, but it was like talking to the guy on the news to me.
That's great.
Your videos one way. And even video responses, but to see you in the same room where you always make video, it was literally to me like the NHK news guy sitting at his desk on my TV and suddenly in the middle breaking script and just having a conversation back and forth with me.
What are you doing with your life?
That's right.
Interrupt the news to talk to Hikosaemon personally.
That would be a sign of excessive use of drugs, but no, it was an actual conversation in our case, which was a relief. But it happens to different people different ways. The other problem, of course, is that Scott is a good-looking man. So I've never actually had women ever get so excited that they've cried when they've met me, at least not in a positive way.
Well, this woman had tattoos to match Scott.
Really?
One arm was full of tattoos, but she's Swedish, I think. She was gorgeous, just thin and elegant looking, wore a cool hat, like a top hat like I had. I wore my top hat. But she was crying. And Tomoko came down. Of course, I should have mentioned Tomoko. Tomoko came down for 1 hour just to see everybody. She really wanted to meet everybody, so it was really cool.
Wow.
A lot of fun. It was small and cozy, but a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, good-looking guys, they get a whole different set of problems, don't they? It's of course I know exactly what that's like because I get those too all the time.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yes.
Yes.
You didn't
Yeah,
make
it's pretty tough being like me and Scott.
Speaking of parties, any progress on the Tokyo thing?
I'm sorry, I just looked sideways at the comments, which are just over there. And Zen Count says he started crying at the beginning of the hangout, mostly because he sat on his balls. I'm crying just the same.
That's true. It doesn't matter why.
I can sympathize. Yeah, we have that impact on people.
Well, maybe you could come. Let me see. Victor, when I first met you, we had raw liver. Oh yeah, Saitama-san. Oh, Sakana. Cool. Yeah, I like him. He was fun. Is that Sakana-jin? That was fun. We went out to have liver. Yeah, it's Sakana-jin. We went out to have liver, and it was the last night that it was legal to eat raw liver in Japan, or at least in Nagoya. I don't know about Japan, but you know you can't buy raw liver in a izakaya anymore.
No, indeed not.
And we had it the last time, and it was very good. In fact, I still remember it. It was great.
Yeah.
So Adam's back to making videos. Saitama Sakana. Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. He was a great video maker, and he just stopped dead because he wanted to concentrate on video making, because he's one of those people who can only do one thing at a time.
By the way, I saw yesterday an update from the Mountain, the movie Mountain, which is the one that BOK UNK is making.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're on a schedule. They're a bit they're running late, but they're going to be done by about August.
But it looks like they're doing a pro job. They've got a crew.
Yeah, they kind of showed. They showed the camera rails and the crew and everything.
That's expensive, camera rails.
Yeah, well, they're doing it. I mean, what I have complete faith again in Tokyo Zeppelin and BLK UNK is that they're not going to get a. And with all due respect to Candy Time, what's his main name? For some reason, Ryan. I thought the Leo Bangs was a great idea for a series, and I thought he scripted it well and did a great job getting everyone together, and it was really fun to do.
Yeah.
But something was lost by the fact he used a really crap handycam for the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But these guys, you know, the thing about BOK, UNK, and Tokyo Zeppelin is that you know that they won't accept an inferior quality. You know, they're going to do it right.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to that. But yes, the other thing is that I did contact Tikyo Sam about directly about what the hell is happening with the dance video.
Oh, the happy collaboration. About 20 people have submitted the files to months and months ago.
Yeah. So
is he getting done?
He's getting someone to help do it, and apparently it is now moving forward. So hopefully it'll be done soon. Yeah, it did. I guess it didn't get quite as big as he was hoping it would, but at the end of the day, I mean, I think the whole idea with collabs like that, it's to if not every, you know, one, it never works out the way that you plan it, and two, the point is you make it so good that everyone who didn't join wishes they joined when they watch it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's getting done anyway. So I'm looking forward to seeing that happen.
I hope he does that. Speaking of Tikyo Sam, I met his buddy Rising Gaijin at the party.
Yeah, he's there in the comments saying hello and nice and all that stuff. So be nice. Don't troll the commenters.
Where is he? I don't see him.
He's in the comments. He's watching.
Rising Gaijin?
Hey, Rising Gaijin.
I don't see him. Are you sure? He wasn't. He's a dick, but he's not as big a dick as I thought he would be, and I'm sure that I'm not as big a dick as he thinks I am. In person, I bought him a drink and he bought me a drink, and then we traded women. No, of course not. But
also he was at the Osaka gathering.
But what was funny is that people thought we were going to attack each other, so they kept getting in between us. So it was hard to talk to him. Like I would start walking towards him, and he was like, "Stay back." I'm just gonna say hello.
I'd totally do that. I'd totally, yeah.
No, he was fine. I was fine. It's no big deal. I'm embarrassed to say we both have the same horrible haircut. That looks like we came out of Jersey Shore.
Yeah, that's.
which is new for me. But
I do think Jersey Shore when I see him, he's like Paulie D, isn't he? Like the fact
I don't know who Paulie D is, but I can tell you that it is an insult. I've deduced that much.
I believe me, I'm being completely sincere when I say he's got great hair, you know, and believe me, I know what it's like to envy hair. Yeah, he's got it.
You would know about hair, Marie, so I'll leave that.
I had hair once. I had long hair and a beard, and yeah, you know, that's fine. I don't dwell in the past.
But it was a lot of fun anyway, and I'm looking forward to the September one. There's going to be one in September, and I'm looking at September 6th. What do you think? September it's a Saturday before my birthday.
I got to call Takeda-san. I got to do that. I got to rock that stuff out. But yes, September 6th is good.
It's a Saturday night. It's September 6th. It's almost exactly 6 months after April 7th, which was the Hanami.
So we own that time period. So yeah, I agree. And that's close to your birthday, if I'm
right. Yes, like last year, we should celebrate my birthday.
Yeah.
I'll be 60 now. I'll be 60 years old this year.
60 years old.
A young 60, of course.
Yes. No, that should be awesome.
It'll be a lot of fun. And maybe the same place if we're lucky.
I'll definitely the same place. I'll talk with the dude. The dude loves us. The guy loves our parties, and it's worked out well for us the last time few times that we've been there. Other topics. I mean, we've got stuff to talk about. People setting themselves on fire, sexist politicians.
Did you see the crying guy?
Sorry?
The guy.
Did you see the crying guy?
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about that because that's kind of going viral at the moment. I should put a link for that under the video. But
I just put a link to my video because I just did a video on it with a new vlogger named Kazuko. Kaz, very cool young girl. She's 20 years old. No, she's 25. I'm sorry, she's 25.
I'm sorry. Is that a vlogger who is also a female?
Yes, a very hot female and very intelligent and speaks English very, very, very well.
Yeah.
And she filled in for Tomoko today because Tomoko couldn't make it, so she was in the J News episode today.
Excellent.
So check it out, and we talk about that.
Yeah.
And I learned some new words that I didn't know.
I was reading it on the way home, and I watched the video on my iPhone in the cab, and I tweeted it, and I said, "Keep it classy, Kobe."
Well, you mean my video or the original? The original, right?
I know. Well, so I saw it on Rocket News. I didn't see it on your. I didn't see your video
so,
exactly.
Do you know this word nakimidas? Nakimidas.
Yeah.
Nakimidas.
Nakimidas.
Yes.
What's that?
So it's basically the same as nakidas, but it's more boryoku. It's like breaking into hysterical tears. So I didn't know it, but it's not in the dictionaries. It's apparently a contraction of naite naite toridasu, which is so they just say nakidas, nakimidas. But she knew it, and apparently all Japanese know it, but I didn't know it. But a couple of people posted
nakidas is totally normal.
Nakimidas, it's a different kanji.
Nakimidas, oh yeah.
Midas is a kanji, mida.
But in any case, I mean, again, it's already on the Nichan comment aggregate is already covering it, and pretty much every comment just calls the guy Kichi guy in katakana.
Oh yeah, he's crazy.
It's freaking retard, but yeah.
Well, it's amazing that wow.
He had a full meltdown, didn't he? You know. So let's just come back and I'll let me quickly explain what it is for those who do not know, and I'll put the link directly under the video now.
Put the link to my video. What's the point of me doing these things if I don't get any free publicity?
Yeah. So, here we go. Japanese politician screams and cries at press conference as he defends expense claims. Oh, yeah. We've got to talk about Obokata as well.
Well, what happened to her?
Well, now they're doing the independent verification to see if the stem cells actually exist or not. Mm-hmm. And they invited her to actually participate.
Oh, really?
And she didn't show up for the first day, saying that she was sick.
Ooh, wow.
And this is amidst allegations that she may have fraudulently produced the results.
The results that she claims she has done correctly 200 times in the past.
That's right. Although they found like the DNA of wrong stem cells and different rats, and all sorts of stuff. So it's there to be. So for those so basically coming back, I've just saved. I'll find your video and I'll put it under there as well. But I'll just put a link to the crying thing, which you can come and watch it later. But basically, so this guy made 190 bullet train trips and stuff like that, and half of them were like to an onsen up in the mountains or something like that, like totally nowhere near where he lives or where he works.
He had no business. There's no political business at all involved.
And he didn't produce a single receipt or any documentation for any of the trips.
Yes. And
he had spent $30,000.
300
million yen.
Yeah, 3 million yen. So 30,000. No, yeah, that's right. A little over.
Over the course of a year. I
read it all in Japanese, so I couldn't understand it because it used a lot of Senmon yoga that I'd never seen before, and a lot of it.
So here you go. I've actually got the. Well, it's all in English on the link that I've got under the video.
I should have looked on Rakuten. I didn't think. I was trying to find it in English. I couldn't find anything, so I had to decipher myself. But that's good.
Yeah, he first he was going into that he didn't know that the electronic machines could produce receipts, and then he said that he had reasons for not making the details public, and he had promised the people involved that it would remain a secret, which makes it sound like he was taking his secretary up into the onsens.
Yeah, that was my guess. It had to do something with something like that.
And then it got weird. Then it started to diverge into bursting out into tears, saying, "I'm here because I want to change Japan, damn it." And then he goes into what is it? So, how are we supposed to deal with an aging society?
I didn't get this part at all.
Yeah, and he
didn't understand that at all.
Yeah, well, the highlights are on a video. Which I just posted, but basically he kind of went into a full nervous breakdown. It was fun to watch.
Meltdown, yeah. It's a meltdown.
Fortunately, there weren't any fire hoses involved in this particular
episode. My God. That was sad.
It was, well, I don't know. So what do you think about this? I mean, so dramatic, passionate political protest, but honestly, I mean, how do you treat someone who actually pours petrol on himself and sets himself on fire over a freaking political opinion?
Set himself on. He looked like a normal businessman. He looked completely.
Well, first thing about that though. So you look at how old. I mean, he looks about 60, something like that, right? I mean, he's that kind of age group. Uh-huh. I'm pretty sure when the weeklies identify who he is, I'm sure they already have actually, and they're going to look into his past. I'm pretty sure they're going to find out this is a guy who, in a protest against collective defense and the Abe government, would set himself on fire. I'm pretty sure they're going to find out that he used to be probably a student radical. Like, you think about it, he would have been a student in the 60s. Back when the Red Army and everything was going crazy.
No, probably 80, 75, 70s, early 70s, yeah, at that age. Yeah.
But even that time, politics in Japan, people did set themselves on fire.
You're right, the Red Army.
Police officers. They had to shut down Tokyo University for a number of years because it was because of all the political riots against the Vietnam War and against all the, the security treaty with the U.S. And people used to set themselves on fire and do all sorts of crazy stuff there. I get the feeling this is probably a veteran of that sort of background. The other thing as well is that, I've seen in Japanese blogs debating, all the right-wing blogs have come up and just said this guy's just a nut. And then I've seen kind of left-wing blogs come up and say, don't you call that guy a nut? He's a martyr and he's a political. He's been so victimized by Abe that he was forced to set himself on fire. I tend to subscribe more to the view that he's a nut. I mean, no.
Well, anyone who sets themselves on fire. I mean, yeah, that's a good definition.
Not many people do it, I mean, yes. And but it wasn't. But the real interesting thing around it was not just the fact he set himself on fire, but did you notice? I mean, NHK did not cover it at all, and
really?
Minimal kind of local coverage, but it got huge overseas coverage.
Oh yeah, New York Times had a link to it.
Yeah, BBC top most watched story on the BBC.
I was surprised, and I guess overseas, yeah, New York Times had a link right to it, man, right on their homepage.
And it was remarkable footage. I mean, I was kind of. So you see how he was sitting on top of the railing, and this is in front of Shinjuku Station, the most busy train station in the world.
Birdman or something, just hanging out, enjoying. Sorry? He looked very, very calm, just sitting there and enjoying himself, drinking his tea or whatever.
With a plastic bottle of tea beside him.
Gasoline.
Pouring tea all over himself, the old man. But when he set himself on fire, you know, they got the high pressure hose and they knocked him down with the hose off the top railing. They let him fall. They didn't try to catch him, and then
would you catch a man on fire? I'll gotcha.
Good point. That's a good life lesson, kids. Don't catch a man who's on fire.
I don't know, but you would think they're firemen. They have gloves and shit. I mean, shouldn't they have tried?
Blankets or anything, right? But no, they let him hit the ground. He fell about 3 meters. He hit the concrete walkway, and then they hit him with the high power hose for a good 15 seconds before anyone even stepped forward to help him. And I get the feeling the last 5 seconds of the high power hose was probably partly out of malice. I mean, which I would totally do as well. I mean, honestly, dude, just don't do that.
Well, I don't know about Japanese cops. You know, American cops, they would do that. It would be like, yeah, we don't want to fuck with you. You just fucked up our day. You know, when they chase somebody, you made me chase you, motherfucker, and they just beat the shit out of him for making him chase him.
Beat him with a donut box. I mean, you know, can you mix pepper spray with the hose? I don't know. Could you?
What about New Zealand cops? I never hear anything bad about Australian cops and New Zealand cops. What is it like down there?
Well, okay, New Zealand, well, you have to understand. I think Robin Williams once described Australia as a country full of English rednecks.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much. Yeah, they're like rednecks from England. I don't know, bad cops in Australia are as bad as anything you can produce in a place like Florida. I mean, you know, you've got two types actually. You've got the country cops, the inland cops, who are your Alabama cop police or your your old-fashioned Mississippi police. I mean, completely racist and indistinguishable. And then you've got Gold Coast and Southeast Queensland, which is basically Florida. I mean, it is just Florida.
Full of Puerto Ricans and Cubans.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, but it's basically, you know, the bank robbing capital, casino capital, drug dealing capital of Australia, and the police are half the time you find out they're involved in it all as well.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. Aussie cops are pretty.
You guys are better than us. This has always been my impression when it comes to, I mean, at least police brutality and corruption and things like that.
Yeah, I know, let's face it. And, you know, 99% of police are great, and it's that 1% when the videos get uploaded that they make everybody look terrible. And that's partly what's been happening more and more. But
it's always that way. You know, you can be a great guy, but if you molest one child, you know, you're just all of your good deeds are buried, pretty much.
Yeah, that would put it down on the industry. But bear in mind, we're not talking about, you know, we're talking about 99 great guys who never do anything, and one dick who's always being a dick and who gets videotaped and makes the other 99 good guys who never did anything bad. And so it's kind of, I have some sympathy. It's a tough job being a cop.
No, it must be. Yeah. And I would imagine most of those people want, at least let's say even 10% of them really want to help other people. When they get into the job, I mean, they take that job because they really want to, you know, give back to society. I'm assuming, right? No, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's what most people in that role. I mean, at least clearly people. It's funny, like hearing stuff about like the Utah police and how they've given all the military excess stuff to them, and you know, all they do is raid people who are like at coffee drinking parties and stuff like that. I mean, Utah and stuff like that, and I've seen kind of police brutality videos. Sorry,
did you say Utah?
Utah. Have you?
Utah, where all the Mormons live.
Yeah, so because it's a Mormon state, so the conservatives in Utah are very conservative, right? So basically, I've seen some videos of like desert, like trance parties, where I guess they're assuming everybody's doing MDMA and stuff like that, and they literally, I've seen a video of a raid where in the middle of just a techno dance party in the desert, they literally parachute in, hold everyone on the ground, fire guns in the air, and you know, like crazy, like, you know, stuff. So, which I guess is don't do that in Utah.
Mm. There was a video posted on Break today about, I think it was Break. Some cops stopped a female professor. She's middle-aged, maybe 60 or something, in the street for jaywalking, basically. And she refuses to turn around. She's like, "I'm a professor. What are you talking about? Everyone jaywalks." Oh, we're not supposed to. So they throw her to the ground. You know what I'm thinking? Really, this is what you're doing with your time? I mean, there's nothing better in the city to do than throw an old or middle-aged woman to the ground.
Just don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, this is it. So there's clearly, you know, socially defective people who go in there because they like the chance to beat people up and tase people.
You think there are many Japanese like that? Japanese cops like that?
No, I think with Japanese police, it's funny. I've dated a girl who was the daughter of a police officer once, and
Just
it's
one.
a tough job. It's a tough job. No. It's like, especially in Japanese society, the problem with police in Japanese society, there is a thing. It's even worse in places like Taiwan. But there's definitely a thing that.
Where they have crime, you mean?
Sorry?
Where they have crime?
Yeah, well, where they actually have crime. But there's this thing you see in Taiwan about like road accidents or someone having a heart attack and no one ever goes near the victim because they're afraid of being like drawn in and being accused of being involved with the incident.
Mm.
And that happens in Japan as well to some extent. But generally speaking, people just don't go near the cops. The cops are totally stigmatized here because everyone knows if there is a murder, the cops pretty much arrest the first person that they see, and they and 99% of the time they convict him.
Oh, in Japan, yeah. Well,
So
they're very good. I hear they're very good at that.
Very good at it, and this is why there's a social convention in Japan of just never getting involved with the police, and people are kind of like, yeah, you know, they'll go and get their lost wallet or their umbrella or something like that. But there's definitely a thing of yeah, it's kind of hard if you've got police in your family. It's almost not that different from having mob in your family to the extent that it's socially stigmatizing, which is kind of tough. So I've always had a thing when I was at the Fuji Rock Festival and they're patrolling police officers. I always go up and say hello and chat to them, and because you see these guys walking around, and if it was New Zealand, you know, people would be having a great time with the police, and the police would be involved and probably enjoying. But you know, in Japan, at concerts like that and stuff like that, no one ever talks to the police. They're just kind of like ghosts that just walk around. I mean, no one's ever doing anything wrong anyway, and the police are just strolling around. But I don't know. I always go out of my way to try to say hello and be nice to police because I think they kind of have a tough job in terms of society here. You know, not accepting them so much.
Mm. Yeah, I talk to the cops all the time. And I call the cops when I call the cops when I see something happening, like some guy's fallen over and he's like, there's an old man I saw about 2 months ago. No, it must have been, it was cold. It was really cold. It must have been 4 months ago. Maggie was alive. So it must have been 5, 6 months ago. And this guy was on the ground bleeding, and everybody was just walking by him, ignoring him. Yeah. He's bleeding and stumbling. I called the cops, and they took my name. They called me back. They said, "Oh, we couldn't find him." Like, I'm not going to sit around in the cold waiting for him.
There was a thing, actually, it's kind of connected with the recent news with North Korea. So it turns out, like, years and years ago, about 6 or 7 years ago, when Japan, actually, I think it was back during Koizumi, when they set up the negotiations which led to the release of the abductees. When it was revealed that Japan there'd been a specific person in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who had been like having regular secret meetings with the North Korean government to set up that meeting. Mm-hmm. A bunch of right-wingers, they didn't like that that this guy had been secretly talking to North Korea and cutting deals with him. And so they put
was trying to get back you guys said it, the kidnapped Japanese, right? That was the point of the meetings.
Sorry?
The point of the meetings were to try to negotiate
Well, there's a mutual thing. There's a thing for the North Koreans about normalizing Japan and getting a settlement from Japan for war reparations, and for Japan of getting the abductees back. Mm-hmm. But for whatever reason, even though they got a good result from it, when it came out that these people had been secretly talking and negotiating with them, a small right-wing group created a fake bomb, which they put in front of the guy's house. And it was kind of big news. And I didn't actually realize that the guy lived like on the back lot opposite. It was like it was connected to my house, but like on the same block but on the opposite side.
Jesus.
So the next night when I get home, there's like police everywhere, and I was living in a neighborhood with like nothing ever happens and cars don't even pass through. And police guy came up and he said, "So you see suspicious people who might have been planning a bomb?" I'm like, well, what the hell? And nothing kind of clicked. I was kind of surprised about it. And then the guy went away. The police guy went away. And then I kind of sat and I thought. And then I suddenly realized the night before, I had seen a guy, because, like I said, I was in a really quiet neighborhood. Oh, wow. And there was like a garbage collection which I could see from my kitchen window. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of in the house with a lot of visibility. Sorry?
This was before you were married?
Yeah, this is before I was married. This is when I was living in a place called Komaba. It's near one of the Tokyo University campuses. It's near Shibuya. Mm-hmm. But it's in a nice residential area. So I remember looking out and seeing an old guy, skinny old guy in a cap smoking on a spot. And I'm like, why is he standing there smoking? What's this guy doing? I saw him walk up to the spot and stop. And he's kind of standing there on the corner, just kind of looking around. And then I went and looked and I saw him walking away again. And then I think I went out like 15 minutes later and I saw the guy coming, like he'd walked all the way around the block and he'd come back again. And he came back to the spot and he stopped and he kind of sat there kind of looking around again and smoking. And I don't think anything of it, but he walked 2 or 3 laps around the block and I kind of saw him do it. And it was exactly around the time that this thing happened. And it suddenly clicked with me. Yeah, there was a guy walking like at the exact time that you were asking about. There was an old guy who was... Sorry?
And he was being suspicious, walking 3 times around the block.
He was being suspicious. He was walking around for no apparent reason. I'd never seen him before, and he was walking around the block where that house was. And so I ran after the cops, and I found them near where the house was, and there were cops everywhere. And I ran up, and I said, I saw something. I saw something. I was like, oh my God, I've got to tell them. This could break the case. I saw the guy. I saw the mad bomber. You have to take my statement. And I ran up, and I found the guy. Again. I said, I do remember something. I think I saw the guy. I'll tell you. I can describe him to you. I can describe what he was wearing.
Wow.
And I was all excited. The guy's like, yeah, what'd you see? I said, I saw an old guy, kind of skinny. He's about, 5'6". He's, but kind of muscular, wearing a red cap, and he's wearing these sort of clothes. And he walked around the block 2 or 3 times at exactly the time that you're talking about. And he's your guy. I'm sure I saw him. And the guy just kind of looked at me, and I was kind of like, so you're gonna take my statement? You're gonna, write it down? Am I gonna have to come to court and testify? And he kind of looked at me and said, I'm getting excited. And he like looked at me and. Yeah, okay, you can go home. He didn't write anything down. He just sent me home. And they got the guy a couple of days later. And, the guy turned himself in eventually. And it sounded like they had other eyewitnesses who had verified what he looked like. The description that they put on the news.
Why didn't they take your testimony?
Sorry?
So why didn't they take your testimony?
I don't know. I must have looked too eager. I don't know. But this is it. The one time I involve myself in a major news capturing a criminal incident, and they're like, yeah, whatever, go back, excited Gaijin guy. And they got the guy.
That's what it is. That's weird.
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, I know you live and you hang around some dodgy neighborhoods there in Nagoya, so I guess you see a lot of stuff that you would call the police more often.
The center of town.
Sorry.
The dodgy area is called the center of town.
Yeah, the center of town.
No, I mean, I see, like, just 2 Mondays ago, there was actually a foreigner passed out at the subway station on the ground at 2:50 p.m. Just lying there, drunk off his ass, and everyone was walking by him. Nobody was saying anything. So I called the cops. I said, maybe he needs some help, Maybe he's really screwed up. And they came, and they took care of him. They got an ambulance, took him away. They called me, telling me, oh, your friend is okay. I'm like, she's not my friend. I don't know who he is. But he means sitting in the middle, just lying on the ground in the middle of town, Nobody's doing anything.
I thought you guys were all friends.
Huh?
I thought you guys, you all know each other.
We all know each other. Right. Yeah. But listen, we got to finalize some things. So I asked our viewers tonight to give us some thumbs up on your video. Only a few have.
Really, there's 86 people watching. Only 32 thumbs up.
What's wrong with these people?
Can we? Yeah, come on.
You have to
86 thumbs up.
Answer something. Get up and shake your butt or something.
What is it? I don't know how you managed to get the thumbs up. It's just me. I say, please, can people please thumbs up? And no one does it. But then you come on and you say, I refuse to go on unless I get 40 thumbs up. And you get them.
Open your book to page 14 and thumb it up. You just got to be strict.
Yeah, yeah.
But the other thing was we wanted to talk about the thumbnail contest that we had.
Thumbnail contest. Right.
And we have some really cool thumbnails that I want to show you guys. I got a picture here. Just a minute. So
let's be. Well, you both agree that the only problem that this contest has presented us is that the entries are so good that it's kind of hard to decide. I know that. So you can see Victor's already kind of started using. Pardon me. He started using one of them already as a thumbnail, and I really like that one as well.
Honestly, I can't say it's my favorite one, but it is a good one. And I'm not saying it's not my favorite, but they're so good, and that was the easiest one to use right off the bat.
There are 3 that I really like.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can show everybody. So on the screen, just a minute, please. Where's the software that I was using a second ago? Now it's gone. Just a minute. Eyeglass.
You thumb up pause. Here we go, 50. We're doing good. I love David Nemo OJs. 60 thumb up pause. So.
I don't know. Did that really help the thumbs up? I don't know. I guess it helps the video get into circulation or something.
You just trolled them into suddenly giving me 16 extra thumbs up.
That's great. Okay, I'm going to show you the picture. I'm going to show you the pictures. You could talk. You talk about them.
Yeah. So
right. Hold on. Let me show you this. Just a second.
So let me just come through the comments while you.
Okay, here we go. Here's the entire picture. Oh, it's loading in up there. Can you see it?
Read Thai. Okay, I'm going to be quiet. You have to speak to display, so I'm going to be quiet.
You got it. Well, I'm going to focus on the. Here we go. How do I? Just a minute. How do I?
Show the whole thing.
Where's the zoom? Where's the zoom button? They changed my software here. Where's my zoom? Oh, here we go.
Software, the NSA.
Okay, here we go. Let's start with that one. This is the one I like these days. This is the one I'm using, right?
You like the green and orange one?
The one up there at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I guess. Oh, this thing. I've got to take a larger picture than actually exists to show everything. Oh, fuck. Yeah, let's try that again. Okay. How about this? Okay, let's try that one more time.
I'm going to keep talking because you're having tech trouble, so I'm going to go through the comments. Yes. Quick shout out to Taisha Jason, who also did a fantastic history of JVloggers. I don't know if you saw that.
No, when is it?
He talked a lot about you. He just did a sit down 2 episode. I haven't seen the second episode yet. But
really?
He talks a lot about you.
I've been in the hospital for the last 2 days.
Yeah, check out Taisha Jason's channel where he talks about the history of JVlogging.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for telling me. I didn't know.
He talks a lot about you. So yeah, you always have to be talking to be able to appear on the screen. So you get it queued up and then you talk.
Okay,
I don't have to keep talking in the meantime. But thank you. That was an awesome video. So everyone go and check out Taisha Jason's video on the history of JVlogging.
Okay.
What else we got here?
Any other good comments?
Oh, that's good.
Right.
Okay, so the first, the Hinomaru entry. This is where I really wish you could do this a split screen. The Hinomaru, that entry that you're showing right now by Hugh Janus, I really like.
And his name is Hugh Janus. And if you say that quickly, you'll understand what an important and fabulous name that is.
Yeah. By the way, I think you actually have to show them in full. It kind of just shows a square cutout, right? So it shows your head, but not mine. That's my only criticism of that design, is that it makes it look like it's just you.
Yeah, it does. It does have your head. I don't know why it does that.
No, that's okay. It's just a thumbnail view. It's just a square view as opposed to the full. So the 3 which I like, I really like that one. I really like the red one below it.
I'll give you a better view of that one so everyone can see. Here it is. How about that?
Oh, excellent.
Much better, right?
Let's do that.
Okay, we'll do it that way. I'll just do them individually. Okay, that's a great one. I like that one. It's easy to use and it's very cool. It's very simple, and I think that would make a great T-shirt.
I agree. And by the way, I think is that not the plan that we are going to?
We're going to offer the winners a T-shirt, a choice of their own T-shirt of their own design. I don't know if we can do the photograph ones. I don't know. I'm assuming we can, but you know.
Oh, you mean for printing? Yeah. Well, that's another reason this is good. But you know, okay, so that's one that I like. Maybe if you click along, so that's from Hugh Janus, and that's definitely one that we're going to use.
And this is one too, very simple, also by Hugh Janus, I think.
Yeah, that's okay, but it's a bit simple.
Yeah. It's still pretty cool, but yeah, you're right. Yeah. All right. Let's see another one that you liked. Well, when we talked about the ones that you liked.
So keep clicking forward or back and scroll through, and I can see on the preview thing. So click forward.
Okay, this one is also very cool, but this guy doesn't want any credit at all. This one right here. Here we go.
So this is sent from Gorilla Mail. So I'm going to call you Gorilla Mail. I think this is a great design, and maybe this is the beta, perhaps. I don't know.
It's a great.
So you can see it. So Victor, you talk.
Oh, it's just simple and yeah, and makes us both look kind of young. I like it. It's cool. It's a little bit too simple. I think it would make a great book cover. So it isn't my #1 choice, but I like it. I mean, it's I don't know how to describe it. Soft. It looks like something great you would see on your wall, you know, in the house or something. I don't think it's necessarily a great thumbnail for video, you know, for the internet, so to speak.
I don't know. I would use that one. I mean, I like it. I think it would work. I think it would work on the shirt design thing. I think it would work as the thumbnail. I like the simplicity. It's nice. I dig it.
What about this one?
And yeah, so that's from Dan Cowell, and it's a great photo.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like 25 Oyajis, which was a little bit more than we are, but yeah, it's okay.
All right. How about this one? People like the punch ones.
The punch is a good photo.
This has a bit too much color, I think, for my taste.
Yeah.
You know, too much pink or red and all that one. Yeah, Dan made another one too. I don't know if Dan made this one. I think maybe not. But there's another one that Dan made, which I believe is this one here. There's a little bit more color in that one.
That's another Dan. So Dan made 3 variations. That's one of them.
And one of my favorite ones is this one here. And I think you like this one as well. Yes.
Yeah, I quite like that. That's from ULife TV, Jonathan Felton. And yeah, I like the big head ones. And he made like 6 variations. I'm
Really?
trying to come up.
Wow.
But I like how he edited that, how he put the friendly faces on the punching thing.
Yes. He made another one that I didn't like so much, but it's just the background's a little bit different. This one here. Almost the same, just the background's different.
Yeah, I like the last one that he sent, actually.
Let me look at the last one here. The last one, yeah, I agree with you. No, maybe the first one. I don't know. Hold on, sort of. Let's see that one. No, I like the first one. But here's a second to last, and this is the last one. You like that one?
Sorry, you got to talk again.
It's your I think it's a bit too busy. This one, too many colors for me. I like the first one, but I like it. I like the center of the big head things.
And it works with the square thumbnail thing, which is important for how, you know, because it gets displayed differently on different thumbnail things. So yeah, I like those 3. I like that last one that you showed just now, the red and white one, and I like the Hugh Janus one.
Yeah. So we're gonna go for we're gonna give 2 prizes, right? I'm gonna give one. You're gonna give one.
I think that's how it works. So what we're gonna do the T-shirt thing.
Yeah, we'll figure out the T-shirt thing, and I'll figure that out by next week. I was supposed to do it by today. I apologize. I just didn't get around to it. I was at the hospital for 2 days now, so
yeah.
But I'll figure that out, and we're gonna award Hugh Janus, which I hate saying that on camera, but
We have to say it. He did good thumbnails. He earned the right to have his name shouted from the rooftops.
Gorilla wants
Hugh Janus.
He doesn't want anything, he said, so he's out of it anyway. Though it's cool. And then the last one by Dan, was it Dan?
No, the last one's by LifeU TV, Jonathan Felton.
I like Dan's too, though. It's pretty cool.
I like Dan's too as well, but I don't know. I mean, they're all kind of good, but I kind of like the anonymous red one actually. If I was going to come down to those 2, I don't know. What let's have a look. See what do people think in the comments. Let me refresh and have a look and
so
see.
It's between basically it's between this one here, right? The anonymous red one, and my choice, which is this one. These 3, right? And then you like the last one, right?
I like the last one. I'm looking at the comments now. People like bobbleheads. They say it looks like a British sitcom.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, which I think that's exactly. I mean, I pretty much modeled this whole thing on Benny Hill. So I think it works.
All right, we can give away 2. So there'll be we can give away some. I'll figure out something for a runner-up prize. I'll give something for my stack of.
Victor, Hugh Janus is saying that he sent you more variations to your email.
He did, but he did, and I appreciate that, and I didn't get around to saying thank you, and I apologize. I was just looking at it yesterday. He noticed that I used them, and I was altering them a little bit.
Send them to me. I want to see them as well.
I did. I'll forward them on to you. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Great.
Everyone sees him commenting. Mikey Chen is saying, Janus is Hugh. Hugh. I like to call him Hugh. I think he's designed a thumbnail for us, so we're on a first-name basis.
Janus deserves another 20 thumbs up. I mean,
he deserves a thumb up, Hugh Janus. Oh dear.
So Mikey Chen likes the anonymous, not unanimous, anonymous. And Emily Lou just spelled huge anus incorrectly. But
Emily, please, you're being vulgar now. Stop it. Stick with regular spelling. But no, I don't know.
Well, what do you think? You got to choose. I'm choosing Hugh Janus.
I know you. I know you do.
I always choose the Hugh Janus.
I also quite like that one, but if I'm going to choose a different one, if I have to go with one,
You don't have to choose a different one if that's the one you really like.
I like the red one. I'm going to like the red one for a while, the simple one.
The last one.
Yeah. I'm a simple man with simple taste.
The gorilla guy, but he's got no email address.
That's right. So I can't give him a prize. So I guess the prizes would go to. Well, Dan Cowell can get his prize.
Okay.
He put in some good entries as well.
So we'll send 3 prizes. Yeah.
So we'll send 3 prizes. But thanks and appreciation to Gorilla Mail Mystery Man with the red thumb up, because I think he did a really good job on that.
Ones too. We want to thank you. Sorry you didn't make the cut, but we're very picky.
Fine and discerning taste.
But those of you who did not win, you have to admit that the winners are damn good. So there was quite a difference there. Sorry about that.
I mean, I thought I'd pretty much cleared it out with my own entry, which I put on there, but my people really stood up. They came up with some great stuff there.
Yeah, and we're gonna put them on T-shirts, and if you guys are interested, we'll make those available to the general public maybe by next week.
Yeah.
I'll figure out what's possible with that. All right. And then we've got the party on September 6th. Next week will be on my channel. No guests lined up yet. Though I'd like to get someone who's new. Get a new JVlogger up. I'm not sure who yet, but we'll find somebody.
Yeah, and by the way, and apologies again for the mess up last week. I explained to Victor as well. I was.
That's the first time for you, so no worries. I've done it a couple times.
First time I've actually missed when I was promising to come on, and it was a problem because I know Anthony Joe, and I set the thing up, and I didn't. And it was supposed to be on my channel, and I didn't set up, so I'm very sorry for that. I was stuck taking my boss out to dinner, who was visiting from overseas, and I was in Kazuko. Well, I shouldn't say this because this will increase your resentment, but I was having a 2-star Michelin restaurant dinner in Kazuko. And it was awesome, but the food came out so slow. We didn't even get the main course before. We started at 7, and we didn't even get the main course before 10:30 when the show started. As we got to like 10, I'm like, it's been 3 hours already, and the food was awesome. But yeah, I started.
I don't think most of our viewers understand that 2 stars is really good.
It was something. It was special. It was an experience, but it's one I wish I could have shared with you guys, but I couldn't. But apologies.
Does everyone understand that that's very high rating on the Michelin scale? The Michelin scale is really low by 5 stars.
It was crazy. But yeah. So how about? I mean, we can do this. How about your channel? You can focus on the new YouTube talent, and I'll try to get more guys like Anthony Joe. I want to get some more outside of people.
I owe Emily Louise Maitland a shout out and a review. So I'll talk to you. But we'll figure that out by next week.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
Emily, would you like to come on?
The Japanese sword guy. Oh, damn, he emailed me and I never got back to you. That guy's also very interesting. I told you to keep bothering him. Keep bothering me, man.
Let's get them. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool.
Emily, yeah. So open invitations to them. I'm also going to sort out some more offline people. There's some people I'd really like to get on. I'll keep trying with Jake Edelstein.
Jerry Seinfeld?
We're having some trouble connecting. He's been back in America, and I think he's had some medical issues and so on, but he seems to be better now. He's back to tweeting selfies all the time. So
we had Chris from abroad in Japan already on the show, but I'd like to get him on when Hiko could make it. He could make it. He was out of town that day.
Yeah.
And we'll get Gaijin Pop back on some other time too. But let's give him some time.
Topics. And by the way, and this is just a general thing you guys all saw last week, but Gaijin Pot used to just be kind of a crappy forum full of trolls and kind of a danger zone. And Anthony single-handedly was hired to come in and clean it up and turn it into a decent blog. And he's done a really good job. It's one of the most readable sites about just Japan culture and news and stuff like that. He's done a really good job with it, and he's just an endless mind of information on Japanese culture stuff. So he'll be great to get back again as a guest.
Yeah, definitely. And we got a lot of traffic on that video, so I think he must have done something too.
Oh, and it should have been on my channel, but it's okay. That's okay. Okay.
All right. Well, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to edit a video now with the new JVlogger that was on my channel, Kazuko from Japan. We've got an interview coming up, so look for that. That'll be on my channel, maybe today or tomorrow.
Check her out. Check it out.
Check her out. Check her out. And thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.
See you next week.
Peace. Good night to you all. Boom. And stop broadcast.